You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to KTSM 9 Plus, your digital newscast. I'm Cristina Rodda. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office making their presence felt in Red Sands since early this morning, where hundreds of El Pasoans are expected to gather throughout Black Friday to continue Thanksgiving festivities with off-roading. The Sheriff's Office setting up a command post earlier today, deploying Sheriff's deputies in 4x4 trucks and ATVs to patrol the desert, as they'll look to replicate their success in deterring crime at Red Sands during the 4th of July earlier this year, in which Sheriff's Office reported no major accidents, shootings, or injuries.
In the past 2 years and going on even into the past, we've had a loss of life. Someone has lost their life on Red Sands either 4th of July and actually 2 years ago on this particular day after Thanksgiving. So our main concern and goal is to prevent the loss of life. And a lot of times that happens because of alcohol, fighting, and firearms make all a bad combination. So our ultimate goal is to not lose a life today.
KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltazar will be going on a ride-along with Sheriff's deputies in the later hours of tonight at Red Sands. He will bring you the sights and sounds of their operations in a special report Saturday evening after college football. And this was the scene earlier this morning. Our crews at the West El Paso Target on Sunland captured dozens of people lined up ready to shop for all sorts of deals. As you can see, the line wrapping around the store right before it opened. Many of the people we spoke to were hoping to get deals on electronics and clothes.
Sweaters are 40% off at Target. Yeah, there's other deals too, but I found the sweaters and got a good deal.
Good for her. Well, according to Target, which aims to reverse a sales slump, 150 shopping average were in line people at its stores for the bags filled with what it described as goodies. The discounter was giving away the bags for the first 100 customers who showed up for the 6 a.m. opening. And now to national news. The Trump administration has revealed new lower Medicare prices for 15 prescription drugs. The administration says the new prices will save a total of $12 billion compared to last year's spending. The medications include those widely used for cancer, diabetes, inhalers, and GLP-1 medications used for weight loss. These price reductions are expected to save Medicare enrollees $685 million when the prices take effect in 2027. And we go now to our health alerts. Reducing social media use for just 1 week can improve the mental health of young adults. That's according to a new study. The study followed about 300 volunteers between the ages of 18 and 24. Now, on average, they curbed their social media activity from 2 hours per day to just 30 minutes. The detox led to a 16% reduction in anxiety, a nearly 25% in depression, and a 14.5% drop in insomnia. And looking ahead, the county is kicking off their first community meeting for the Ascarate Park renovations project next week as part of their 2024 capital improvement bond. The meeting gives El Pasoans an opportunity to ask questions and learn more about the early design concepts of the project. The county says they're looking to make improvements on the new park entrance, new walking trails, and restoration of the lake and rehabilitation of the lake's island. The meeting is happening on Tuesday, December 9th at the 6 p.m. Ascarate Park Pavilion. Well, if you skip Black Friday madness for some rest, here's something else you may like. A view from our tower cam, and it looks like it's all sunshine out there, a little cloudy. Forecaster Tirza Ortiz can tell us what else is in store weather-wise.
Hey there everyone, and happy Friday. We have a bit to get through, so let's just jump into it. We do have mild temperatures running us into the weekend, and then we have a cold front that will shift up that status quo we've been looking at with our above average temperatures. It is going to bring cooler high temperatures along with the chance for potentially some precipitation, and then we're also going to be looking at your first week of December and how those conditions are going to look. Taking a look though at our temperature trend, we will be hitting a high of 74 today and for Saturday. Saturday, it is going to drop us down that cold front into those low 60s, where those numbers are going to track all the way leading up into the latter part of our week. And taking a look at our car wash forecast, we do have the green light because so far we are still remaining dry and quite calm. But coming up in our full exclusive 9-day forecast, I will have more details of what to expect as we continue to move through this forecasting period.
All right, well, we're going to take a look from our TxDOT cams, and we are looking at I-10 and Piedras, where you can see plenty of traffic that's moving very quickly. Fortunately, no issues to report, but plenty of people out there probably heading out for Black Friday to do some shopping. Here's I-10 and Hawkins right by Cielo Vista Mall, where you can see several vehicles as well going east and west. And on the service roads, you see some traffic. No issues again to report. Well, all eyes are on the Texas versus Texas A&M game today as the Longhorns try to spoil the Aggies' perfect season. It's the first matchup where both teams are ranked since 2004. While the game has nationwide attention and playoff implications, State Capitol reporter Adam Schwager explains why it means so much here in the Lone Star State.
It's hard to believe it's been 15 years since the Texas A&M Aggie football team traveled down to Austin to face off against the Texas Longhorns here. And to commemorate this rivalry renewed, we took a look at just what makes this game so special.
This is called Longhorns versus Aggies.
Sitting above the north end zone at DKR Texas Memorial Stadium sits the Stark Center's newest exhibit.
This photo here is the first ever football team at the University of Texas. They played in 1893.
The two teams squared off for the first time in 1894, with the University of Texas winning 14 of their first 17 matchups. To respond, Texas A&M built a super team by early 20th century standards, and the first time that team lost to the Longhorns in 1911, things got ugly.
In the aftermath of the game, cadets from Texas A&M decided to march on downtown Houston, took over several city blocks, and were essentially beating the tar out of anybody affiliated with the University of Texas.
The schools refused to play each other again until 1915, the only drought in the series until the Aggies left for the SEC in 2012. Over the years, the schools have fought on and off the field, including
in the 1916 game, Texas beat A&M. Aggies kidnapped Bevo and branded him 13-0 as a callback to the 1915 game.
In Longhorns kidnapping Reveille.
The students from Texas with Reveille remained hidden until they thought, okay, it's too hot, we've had her long enough. They took her out to a payphone in Lake Travis, put in an anonymous tip from the payphone, tied Reveille to the payphone, got out of there.
In 1999, the hostilities went on hold when tragedy struck the Aggies. 12 died when their annual pre-rivalry game bonfire collapsed during construction.
During halftime, the Longhorn band flew A&M banners, played Amazing Grace, and for the first time in Longhorn band history, they removed their hats.
Texas still honors those lost in the A&M bonfire through a scholarship representing the spirit of the two schools coming together.
We're all Texas students just trying to make a future that we are proud of.
Longhorns and Aggies come together for just like one central cause.
Now, in the same building, playing host to 131 years of the rivalry's history, the Aggies and the Longhorns will face off once again. In Austin, I'm Adam Schwager.
Well, the Aggie versus Longhorn exhibit can be found at the Stark Center inside of Memorial Stadium, open on weekdays 9 to 5, free of charge. And coming up, El Paso Water will be hosting an open house on budget and a rate hike proposal. We hear what you had to say in our comments segment. Thanks for watching KTSM 9+, always putting local first.
Scan to download KTSM Plus free.
Welcome back. Well, El Paso Water will host a community open house next week. They're offering residents an opportunity to learn more about the recently proposed fiscal year 2026-2027 budget and rate increase. As KTSM previously reported, if the budget is approved, stormwater fees would not increase. However, the typical residential water and wastewater bill would increase by almost $10 per month. That's a 12% increase over last year's bill. Bilingual staff will be available, and attendees may submit written comments to be shared with the Public Service Board Communications Committee. We shared this story to our social media pages, and a lot of you had some thoughts that you wanted to share with us. Ray Armendariz writes, why isn't the city talking about raising the hourly wages like other cities? For example, Denver minimum wage is $20 an hour. Let's talk about that. Sandy Walsh says, instead of slapping your customers with yet another increase, why don't you have the shareholders dig into their pockets? Asking for a friend. Mary Lou Aguirre writes in part, the answer is a definite no. It doesn't matter if you host an open house for us to ask questions, because at the end of the day, it's a no. We are being nickeled and dimed by every single entity in EP, and it's making this more difficult in an already difficult economy. Well, the open house, which will be held from 5 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, December 2nd at the Tech H2O Center on Montana, will feature 5 information stations where attendees can explore how proposed rate changes may affect them, how water payments are used, and tips for reducing water use and potentially lowering their water bills. Well, here at KTSM, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you are following us on our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. And up next, this year, the Radio City Rockettes are celebrating 100 years of dancing and entertaining audience. Bring you an inside look. Welcome back. Staff at the Franklin Mountain State Park wants to invite the public to an outdoor cooking event Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Now, people who sign up will learn how to cook on a Dutch oven over a campfire. Supplies will be provided. And on Sunday, you can join a group for the last Sunday hike of the month. It's a 2.5-mile hike at 8:30 in the morning, and you must register to participate at the number on your screen.
Hey there and good evening, Borderland. We are looking at our lows for tonight. We had a pretty warm day for today. We were in those low 70s, so it was well above average. But for tonight, we are cooling down pretty significantly. We'll be down to 45 degrees in El Paso. So these are similar to what we've been having the previous days. However, up in Ruidoso, 36 degrees, very close to freezing. We go below freezing over in Cloudcroft to hit 31, 37 over in Alamogordo. Taking a look at Las Cruces, very close to freezing as well, 36 degrees, 34 over in Deming. Really the whole region just cooling down with our overnight lows and focusing on El Paso a little bit more. We're not quite where we need to be just yet, but we do have a cold front on the way that will definitely drop us to those temperatures soon. So really enjoy these nice, calm, comfortable conditions while we have them. We're looking at mostly clear skies, overall light winds. Those winds are going to be very calm coming from the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Taking a look over at Las Cruces, 36 degrees. It is going to be quite cold, but those light winds will also be blowing. They are going to be relatively on the calmer end, 0 to 5 miles per hour. Now, as for our highs for tomorrow, we are going to be quite similar. 70 degrees in El Paso, 67 degrees over in Las Cruces, 69 over in Juarez. Moving over to Guadalupe Pass, 63 degrees and 69 degrees over in Van Horn. Looking at Ruidoso, 57 degrees with Cloudcroft at 49. So it will be quite a cold weekend up there, especially for the second half of the weekend, because again, we do have that cold front coming in on the second half, and it is going to bring our conditions a lot cooler and a little bit windier. So we can expect for that wind chill to grow as well. Taking a look at our allergens, we are going to hit a 7 for Saturday and a 7 for Sunday as well. So it's a little bit on the mild end. If you are more sensitive, I would recommend just preparing for that. Let's go ahead and get a look at our 9-day forecast though. So like I mentioned, we are hitting 70 degrees for our Saturday. We are looking at mostly sunny skies, so it will be very beautiful to get out and just really enjoy the day. We drop down to 41 degrees overnight, and then we see cooler temperatures on Sunday. This is where we start to see that cold front really begin to take effect, and then we drop down to 43 overnight going into our Monday. Low 60s is really going to be predominantly where the Borderland is going to be, at least El Paso. 37 degrees going into Tuesday morning. So for your Tuesday morning conditions, it will be very cold. I would recommend layering up. Leave with a jacket. You don't want to start your commute off in those chilly conditions, and then we begin to warm up ever so slightly. We will have a gradual warm up taking us all the way into the weekend. 63 degrees for your Wednesday, 64 for Thursday, and then we're back above the mid 60s for our Friday and Saturday, making for some warmer but overall very pleasant conditions. Back to you.
Definitely pleasant today and tomorrow. Well, thank you, Tirza. The Radio City Rockettes are celebrating 100 years of dazzling audiences. The longest running dance company was founded back in 1925 in St. Louis, Missouri. And since then, millions of families have made it a tradition to travel to the Big Apple to witness generations of women share the same iconic stage. Hina Doba takes us behind the curtain with women who have kept the legacy kicking.
The holiday season is officially in full swing, and who better to kick things off than these ladies?
Hi, News Nation. Welcome to Radio City.
The Rockettes bringing their sparkle, cheer, and charisma to the Music Hall stage with this year's iconic Christmas spectacular, while also marking a huge milestone, their 100th anniversary.
I think it's amazing that we get to celebrate a centennial and that I get to be on the line.
That's Swetha Nalapanini, a second-season dancer from Ohio, still pinching herself that she's part of the kick line.
I think every time I walk in this building, I have to take a deep breath. It's just, I'm so overwhelmed by the beauty and just everything it represents. It's joy, it's the staple of the holidays, it's the epitome of New York at Christmas.
She chased a dream from childhood and was motivated by someone very near and dear to her.
It was a dream that me and my mom shared together, and she took me to my first audition. That stage is just, I think, the most magical place on earth. It's a really special feeling to be on the line and to have achieved that dream.
The Rockettes have united generations since 1925. Just ask former Rockette Kristen Altfather, who danced for 17 seasons. and is returning to celebrate the show's legacy.
It's just amazing. It's like coming home. There's no way to explain it because we spend so much time here in the theater.
Naomi Keikook, who also danced for 6 seasons, can relate too.
It feels like home for sure. A lot of the same people still work here. It's an absolute family.
What's the audition process like? Are there certain criteria, like do you have to be this tall?
There's no requirements other than you just have to be 18 years or older and a proficient dancer.
Many things have evolved over the years, from the choreography to the costumes. But when it comes to the audition process, all these women can agree
It's grueling.
Tell me
It's so
more.
difficult. So they're very specific, they teach you a bunch of choreography and you have to pick it up quickly.
Current Rockette Laura Jakowenko explains more.
There's an open call and almost 1,000 women will line up to audition. And if you make it to the end of those 3 days, you hope you get the call for your dream job.
You have to be proficient in ballet, tap, and jazz, but it's its own kind of language.
Let's go through some of the numbers here.
The Rockettes perform for 1 million people each holiday season. That's 4 shows a day, 6 times a week.
Each dancer kicks 160 times a show. That's almost 650 times a day. There are 8 costume changes, with an average change taking about 78 seconds.
I was looking at the costumes and how they've evolved throughout the years. They're gorgeous. I mean, every time you put one on, you feel special.
And one of those costumes belongs to an iconic routine.
The Parade of the Wooden Soldiers is a classic. It's been in the show since 1933, and every single Rockette has done that exact same number.
Kristen, you think if they're like, hey, we're in a pinch, can you jump on stage?
100%, I'm on it.
I popped in myself.
5, 6, 7, 8.
And let me tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks.
What a great report. That's so awesome. Well, thanks to Hinadoba for that report. Well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a final look at your forecasts.
Financial Fridays, sponsored by One Source Federal Credit Union.
Happy holidays, El Paso and Las Cruces. When shopping online during the holiday season, always be wary of deals that seem too good to be true. Do your part to avoid becoming a scammer's next victim. Did you know that every year, thousands of people become victims of holiday scams? Scammers can rob you of your hard-earned money and your personal information. Tips to avoid holiday scams. 1. Don't wait to update. Keep your devices up to date to avoid information stealing malware. 2. Use secure Wi-Fi. Protect your payment information by using trusted Wi-Fi sources. 3. 'Tis the season of phishing scams. Donate to trusted organizations on official websites only. 4. Shop through trusted resources. Before you make that purchase, make sure that the website is legit before giving personal or payment information. Do your part and be vigilant this holiday season. We want you to enjoy the holidays, not stress over them. Have questions or concerns? Give us a call. We'll be glad to help. Why? Because we're One Source. Of course.
Financial Fridays, sponsored by One Source Federal Credit Union.
Well, before we go, we have one last story to share. If you're looking to get out of the house and do something fun while supporting the greater Las Cruces community, the Sophia organization is hosting its 4th annual One Huge Fiesta today from 2 to 7 p.m. So you still have some time to make it. It'll take place at the Downtown Plaza in Las Cruces. This will be a free and fun community event for children and families. Now guests can enjoy a festive photo booth featuring Santa Claus and the Grinch. Well, thanks so much for watching KTSM Plus. Our digital newscast will be on tonight after the Indiana and Purdue game. Have a great day.
Hair and wardrobe provided by